What's up, everybody? Buckle up and let's ride. Today is 2 Corinthians 10, 4 and 5. It says, the weapons that we fight with are not the weapons of this world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish every argument and every pretension that goes against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedience to Christ. So it was really cool. We talked about it at church today, and what they talked about was how the wounds become lies, and then we make vows to ourselves. And Abram and Sarai were told that they were barren, right? So they believed the lie that they would never have children, and then God told them that he was going to give them children, but they had to, and they went on their own accord, took control. And you know, if you don't know the story, Sarai agreed for Abram to have kids with a servant, right? So that was crazy. But then at the end, they blessed him with the children, and then they asked Abram to sacrifice his only son. That blows my mind, but that's the trust we have to have in God. And the other story they talked about was when the Spirit of the Lord told Jonah he had to go to Nineveh. He ended up not believing that in the mercy that God had for those people. He had a vow that he was like, you can forgive them, but I'm not going to. So he decided he was going to go 500 miles the other way. And what happened? He got swallowed up by a whale. And that's the story of Jonah. And so the vow was that those people did not deserve the mercy and the forgiveness of God, and he wasn't going to do it. So he ended up turning around and trying to take control of his own, said, you can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to do it. And that's the crazy story about it. But what was neat is the wounds, right? Nineveh had 100% persecuted and tormented and tortured Jonah's people. And so whenever he decided that that God was, when he heard that God was going to forgive him and show him mercy, he was like, nah, you ain't doing that to me, because I ain't doing that because of what they did to me and my people. So anyways, the whole story, the whole preface of this Buckle Up, Let's Ride is this. When we have wounds, whether we think they're small wounds or big wounds, they create lies. We start believing the lies, and then we make a vow with ourselves. Those vows lead to strongholds. 2 Corinthians 10, 4 and 5 says that we can demolish every argument, every stronghold, everything, every pretension, if we take captive every thought and make it obedience to Christ. I wish y'all a happy Sunday. I love everybody. Shalom, and thanks for tuning in to Buckle Up, Let's Ride. See you next time.